Hey Manthan, I'm just making this quick video to outline some of the bigger bugs that we need to tackle. All the smaller bugs are in this Trello list under the list functional bugs. I know there's a lot of lists here. Ignore all of them, just look at functional bugs. I'm going to make sure that I don't miss any, and so I'm keeping this around, but this is really the list with all the important bugs in them. Also, this word formatting flaws list is what I'm going to be contributing to. So essentially, the way I've organized it is just look if there's a page. It's organized by page, so just click on a page and it'll show you what bugs the page has. But I want to keep this video short and focus on the big picture things that aren't working and we need to fix really quickly. Cool. So essentially, like, the biggest thing that needs to be fixed is still, actually there's two things. So before I get to that, let me state this. This is the login screen. So this login screen does not work. So if you sort of, are creating an account, like, it never matches your credentials. Like, after you create a new account, this is the login screen that does not work. But one solution I think that is effective is that we don't even need to have this login screen. So as soon as you sign up, you can just sort of like go straight to this Google sign in. So I don't really think there's a point of having that second page anyway. Here, if you choose an account and sign in through Google, if that account exists, then it'll go to that account. If it doesn't, it'll ask you to create a new account. So you don't even need to have that page. You can get rid of it. Cool. So one of the biggest problems here is that it doesn't actually work with CMU emails or even long emails. So like, I tried putting my regular Gmail account in, and even that, it received an error. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on here. This is a good, change that I can at least like sign in with my Andrew and everything. But if I actually try to, sign in, then first of all, I waited 20 to 40 minutes for this thing to actually stop loading. But even still, like, it received an error message afterwards. So this still isn't working, and that's a big problem that we need to sort of like fix quickly. Cool. So, while that's loading, I'll just sort of show you how long it takes. But anyway, so cool. So let's go over some of the other issues. There's only so just to clarify, the two big issues we've talked about so far are the login not working and the importing of CMU emails, and also just my big emails not working. There's two other like smaller bugs, and then like two kind of design flaws that I want to address. So some of the smaller bugs. Okay, cool. Yeah, so this is cool. So sorry, this is an aside. It's a really small thing, but this terms and conditions here, I know it's just linked to some like random text, but if you go to the Trello and functional bugs and look at terms and conditions, there is a link here to the actual terms and conditions, so please add those. Cool. Anyway, I've create a new account here just to kind of show that. It does work with smaller emails, so I don't know if it's the size or what, but it doesn't work with Gmail or Andrew. But or the bigger Gmail accounts are Andrew, so that's a problem. But usually it'll bring something back with this. It'll still take a while, but it'll get something. Cool. So 5 domains. So this is the other page that doesn't work. So essentially what this page should do is it should see, okay, let's go through every single like email in Anand's inbox, right? And if there's an email that's in his inbox that is associated with a Netscale account, let's show that here, right? So let's show what accounts or what people that are already on Netscale are likely Anand's friends. For example, Netscale test user 21 and Netscale test user. First of all, I'm Netscale test user, right? And so I should not show up as my own contact. So that should not be there. But Netscale test user 21 exists, and that's an account in Netscale. So it should show up here as a friend that I already add, not someone who I send an invite to add. So that's a problem. The other big problem with this page is this add more button. It doesn't actually do anything. So what should happen is that when you click add more, a little pop-up comes up that says add an email or search a variety of emails, and then every email that is actually related to an account will fill up here. And I'll be like, oh, out of the emails that you added, here are the ones that are currently associated with a real live Netscale account. And these are all the ones that, can't be found as a Netscale account. So you're hoping to invite all of them to join Netscale and send them that email. So these should be accounts, these should be, invites. But this is not working, and neither is this. And there should also be an invite all button here where you or an add all button here where you add all the friends that are already on Netscale. So that's cool. Alright, moving on. Second little bug that I think we need to fix is with groups. So groups should not only be, the admins and the members should not only need to be friends. They should be anyone. So, like an admin can be any user who's actually on Netscale, not just a member. So that needs to be fixed too. The other thing are just kind of design things. Like for example, if I type in Netscale, right? And there's no results in company but just results in people, then the first thing that shows up should be people. So if I type in Netscale and there's nothing in companies, then people should show up. If there's nothing in companies and people, then groups should show up. It shouldn't show this page if no results are to be found. And the same thing is with search. So I can't demonstrate this right now, but essentially like what happens is that if I type in Netscale and there's a friend of a friend who knows someone in Netscale, but Netscale isn't in my email, it still shows this thing first. Show the section first that actually has something to show. I think that would be a lot more useful. I don't think I mentioned it beforehand, but I want to make sure that's clear. The other thing, sorry, these bugs turned out to be a lot more than I initially said. But if you go to the Doggerwall account, first of all, just to be clear, like that login only worked because I actually forgot my password. So the login does not work, but it worked in that scenario. So if you go to see all companies here, oh wow, this isn't here yet. But essentially, like there's repeats. So if you looked at this account beforehand, there would be an @Gmail, there'd be another @Gmail. So @Gmail should only appear once, right? This is the collection of all the domains that you know. So this should not occur more than once. Yeah, so those are some of the bigger bugs. The smaller bugs are all in the thing. One thing that also you want to note is like this spacing here is really weird. Like even if I extend this all the way, right, just to give it, this thing should be closer to the input text box, and this text should also be closer to this line. Yeah, so those are the major bugs. As I come up with more, I'll let you know. But just to review, the build my network, this thing needs to fill out with friends that are already on Netscale. This button needs to work and you need to add invite more. Build my network find my network can't have repeats of domains. In groups, you should be able to add admins and members who are not only your friends, and obviously like the login and the importing of emails. So those are the big bugs. That was confusing. Be sure to look at Trello, and hopefully this video was helpful. See ya.